Hi everyone, I'm Amber. Welcome back to my channel. It's been a while. Hi guys. Life just happened. It's okay. Um, so today we are going to be reviewing Venom: The Last Dance. My heart broke. It melted. It got smashed. It was reborn. Oh my god. This movie took me through all the feels and so many through so many different emotions. The movie starts off, we're back to Venom at the bar, where we saw him. I believe it was in a post credit scene, I think. And he's talking to the bartender about like the multiverse and what happened because the bartender told him, and he's kind of recounting it. And being like, wait, that happened and everything. I believe he was in a motel room at some point in the post credit scene too. We never see him go back to that. And anyway, he goes back to his time, and he's again at the same bar in a different universe, talking to the same guy, different version of him. And yeah. So then it's never really brought up again. Next, we suddenly are. No, the movie starts off. We're seeing the bad guy. Who is in Venom's home planet in a prison. And he apparently created the symbiotes. And the symbiotes, like, imprison him because he's bad guy. And he has like these pets who, like, I guess are also his children. I'm not sure. He sends to Earth, but then one only ends up in Earth, and they have to find this key to set him free. How he has the power to set these things free in this prison and not himself, I do not know. How these things ended up being born, ended up being there. Why hasn't he done this before if he's been there for like a millennia? I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's sent to Earth. Apparently, Venom is the key. I don't know if it was particularly Venom or if it was a symbiote whose host and or the symbiote died, and then that would be the key. So if that's the case, then would it be, if Venom died, then it'd be Eddie who's the key, but Eddie died and Venom cured him, so thus they are the key. I don't know exactly. It was very, very confusing, and it was so much information dumped and so many like choppy bits that didn't really make sense sometimes, and was just a lot of information to process other times. And then we were here, and then we were there, and we were in a plane, and then we were in a lab, and then there's other symbiotes apparently, and then like it was a lot, and we kept flashing back to this thing that is sensing Venom. He has to be in his like form for him to be sensed, and then he's careless, and he has that one moment where he's with Miss Chan, sorry, and they're in Vegas, and why she's there, I do not know. Um, it's just, I guess for comedy, and then it was actually a very funny scene, but why, I don't know. And then, they get captured, and she never shows up again, and I'm just like why? Like, I don't know why we keep having these random moments, and some moments are good and some are just info dump or random, and the scene where it's the bad guy, like it starts off with the bad guy like talking to us, like I don't know who he's talking. He's narrating to his children, and then he sends them off to Earth, and then it ends up being just that one, and then it ends up being two later on, and then it ends up being a whole bunch later. But I'm just like, why didn't he send a whole bunch of them? Why was it just one? But then it didn't seem like, I don't know. Anyway, they are on the run. Eddie is a fugitive because of something that happened, I think, in Carnage, um, the second Venom. And then he and Venom are in Mexico, but then there's cameras that like find him, but then also the government is looking for him, not just the police, because they found out that he has a symbiote, and they're like researching symbiotes. And then also like they're also like working with this lab with this lady who also researches like symbiotes and like aliens and stuff, and has a couple like captured, and then also pairs and I think someone we saw in a prior movie, but I don't remember him, with the symbiote, and then because he's like dying and stuff, so like I don't know how long ago or when they got him or what. And they also get like little portions of symbiotes, and they have those, and I assume that they disappeared or are still like in the bottles, like because we only saw her take one at the end, and that ended up being the Speed Symbiote. In the end, all the scientists were turning into symbiotes and dying and stuff, and symbiotes would die because these things like ate. They were essentially like a, you know, those machines that like are cutting. I don't know if it cuts grass or like it cuts the corn. And then it blows it out the other end. Like that's essentially what it was. Um, that was terrible. But anyway, I it was a really good fight scene once they realized, oh, like Eddie is a good guy. He can stop these things, or like Venom, and can stop these things too, and everything. Because it turned from wanting to capture him to like get the symbiote, which was very messed up because then they were also pairing people with symbiotes, but they separated him. So I don't know. And then they find out he was the key, and then the government wanted to kill one of them, or kill both of them. Was it kill both of them? I think kill both of them. Because if they die, then the key dies. Um, I think it was one of them because they were already the key. So if one dies, okay. And then it was like, oh no, like he's the only one who can help us. And then there's this epic fight scene. Like it turned from really confusing to a lot, really confusing and a lot of information to then um just a game of like cat and mouse to a really good fight scene to then Venom reaching out his goop to, that's the only word I can use, to uh like I guess make a cage for him to get the rest of these creatures, and he's like stretching and like, and then he goes to, I think it's like some kind of chemical or whatever, or acid, and like is pouring it on himself to kill himself and the creatures, and thus the end. But not the end. And I thought that like I don't know if that would kill him. And then it makes me very sad because I'm like, he's dying, and then he puts a door on Eddie to protect him from the acid, and then all these symbiotes are dying, and I'm just like, this is so tragic. And I thought that like, because was it in the first movie they had symbiotes and then they were evil? So was it just those, or and these ones are good? Because they were like, we're the good guys, and I'm like, are you? because I'm not understanding, like, this is, you guys are never the good guys, but maybe that's another universe. And then of course, like, this, it is another universe, and this is not our Venom that we're used to, or but it's the Venom that we're seeing. And I've fallen hard for this trilogy, and I'm like so sad. I was so sad. It was so much, and I was all over the place with confusion, and then I was completely heartbroken. And it all just hit and hit and hit and hit. I thought the movie ended pretty well. I just think the beginning was a big mush of different things, and I knew that they had redid it, and there was originally maybe a different plot, and that wasn't, but oh my goodness. Um, but yeah, essentially everything we saw in the trailers was like the big moments. There was a lot of laughable moments with the horse and like, but I just felt like it in the beginning and in general, but more so in the beginning, it just was not typical Eddie Venom banter that we were getting. It was very weird. I don't know. It was a different kind of like way that they were talking to one another, and it just felt different, and I was saddened by that. But then the action, I think, kind of made up for it. Um, and then the end, Eddie's clear. He saved the day with Venom. The government has forgave him. He goes to New York because Venom wanted, that's where they wanted to go, and Venom wanted to see the Statue of Liberty, and he sees the Statue of Liberty, and it's sad, and there's music playing, and there's memories popping up on the screen, and I'm just like, I'm so sad. um, and yeah, and it doesn't mean that it's the end for symbiotes. Like, that one girl still has a speed symbiote. Uh, and then there's that vial in the post credit scene that I guess there was still part of her like symbiote left over of the speed symbiote, and there's a cockroach, and I don't know what. But I was like, if that's the case, where are the other vials? Like, they're probably lost, And there was another one of Venom, so hopefully, I'm not sure. Um, and then the guy apparently he's like, I will be back and blah blah. And I'm just like, wasn't this whole movie to like not free you? And now like you're gonna be free. Like, don't make Venom's death for nothing. Like this, no. Um. So, yeah, those are my thoughts. I'm getting like goosebumps, chills. It's just like I ended up satisfied to an extent, but satisfied. And I think the montage of memories really just like solidified it for me. And I was just like, oh my goodness. Like, I remember watching these movies and through the, like different phases of my life, and it's now ending, and it's just like comedic and beautiful, and it was a great scene. And Maroon 5, the one Cheers or something like that, that's the song that was playing, and I'm just like, this is perfect and laughable and beautiful and so Venom, and I loved it. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the movie. I think that lots of things could have been done better, and lots of things were done perfectly. So that is it for the video. Um, I yeah, I don't know what else to say. Like things that like maybe they could have done better. It's just that's it. There's things they could have done better. Um, but then there's things that just hit the spot, and we're just like, yes, 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 yes. How did we get there? I don't know. It was very random, and not random in the way that the movies usually are, but we got there. It's okay. So yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you all soon. Bye!